It started on an ordinary Wednesday, the kind of forgettable day that no one writes about. My wife, Marlene, had gone to the store to pick up some last-minute groceries. We were supposed to have pasta that night, one of her specialties, creamy, cheesy, with a touch of basil. The kind of meal that made our little kitchen feel like a sanctuary, even when everything else in life felt unstable. We had been married for 7 years. Not the giddy, hand-holding kind of married. The you forgot to take the trash out again kind. Comfortable, familiar. And in recent months, a bit distant. I chalked it up to work stress, her new job at the publishing house, the usual excuses people use when they don't want to confront the fact that something might be broken. That day, I was home early. I'd finished my shift at the repair shop ahead of schedule, a rare occurrence. I even stopped by the florist on my way back, a little surprise for her. Tulips, her favorite. Marlene texted me from the store, out of milk, grabbing it now. Be home in 15. That was at 5:42 p.m. At 6:10, she still wasn't back. No big deal, maybe traffic. I tried calling her, just once. No answer. She hated being on the phone when she was walking alone, said it made her feel vulnerable. Fair enough. But something felt off. At 6:25, I heard the front door open. She stepped in, smiling, her hair tousled a bit more than usual. No milk in hand. No grocery bags. Just her, standing in the doorway with that half-glazed look in her eyes, like her mind had been elsewhere. You forgot the milk, I said, trying to keep it light. Oh, she said, blinking. Right. I ended up getting a cab back. Left the bags in the trunk. I'll get them later. Marlene never took cabs. She prided herself on walking everywhere. Said it was how she stayed in shape. Her voice trembled just enough that I noticed. Just enough that something in my stomach twisted. You okay? I asked. She smiled again, wider this time. Yeah. Just a weird day. Tired, I guess. I kissed her cheek. She flinched. The rest of the evening played out like an amateur performance of a familiar script. She made pasta, overcooked. We sat in front of the TV watching something neither of us cared about. When I reached for her hand, she pulled away, pretending to stretch. That night, she fell asleep quickly. Or at least pretended to. I lay next to her, staring at the ceiling, trying not to drown in the silence that had somehow become louder than words. The next morning, her phone buzzed on the nightstand while she was in the shower. A notification popped up, a message from someone named Tony Lyft. Except it wasn't the app. It was a saved contact. And the message read: Last night was wild. You left your scarf in the back seat. Don't worry, I'll keep it safe for next time. My heart didn't just break. It sank. Deep. Like someone had tied an anchor to my chest and dropped it into a black sea. I didn't open the message. I didn't respond. I just sat there, holding her phone in my hand, knowing that I would never unsee that text. That our marriage, our home, our dinners and tulips and overcooked pasta, they all suddenly felt like props in a play I didn't audition for. And in that moment, I realized, the cab ride home wasn't just a ride. It was the beginning of the end. I didn't say anything right away. Maybe that's what threw her off. For 3 days, I acted like I didn't know. I kissed her good morning, cooked breakfast, laughed at her offhand jokes. It was like watching our life from the outside, playing my part in a charade while the truth sat heavy in my pocket. I copied the message. Took a screenshot. Forwarded it to my email. Then I deleted the notification from her phone, just in case. I didn't know what I was planning, if I was planning anything at all. But I needed time. Space. And, most of all, clarity. On Saturday morning, I asked her if she wanted to go for a walk. We used to walk every weekend, grab coffee, watch the city wake up. She hesitated. You sure? I thought you had stuff to do. I've always got stuff to do, I said, but I want to spend time with you. She nodded, slowly. We walked 2 blocks without saying much. Then I stopped at a corner bench. Sat down. And finally broke the silence. "Who's Tony?" She froze. It wasn't dramatic. She didn't gasp or start crying. She just stilled. Like a statue caught in the middle of a movement. When she finally looked at me, her eyes were hollow, like someone had switched off the lights inside. He's no one. Just the driver from the other day. He's the one you forgot your scarf with? Her lips parted. No words came out. Her breath quickened. She didn't deny it. Not really. I didn't mean for anything to happen. I let that sentence sit between us like a dying animal. Weak. Sad. Not worthy of being saved. How long? I asked. She looked away. It was just once. I didn't believe her. But I didn't challenge it. What happened, Marlene? My voice cracked a little, but I steadied it. Was it me? Did I do something? Or did you just need to feel something else? She wiped a tear from the edge of her eye. I felt invisible. I don't know when it started. You were always working. We barely touched anymore. I needed to feel wanted. And so you, what? Let some stranger take you home and decide that was enough to throw everything away? It wasn't like that. But her voice didn't carry conviction. Only shame. We didn't fight. I didn't yell. There were no accusations thrown, no threats made. Just the sound of wind through the trees, and the quiet unraveling of 2 lives stitched together by routine more than love. I packed a bag that night. Not because I didn't love her. But because I did. Too much to watch her turn into someone I didn't recognize. Too much to become someone I'd hate, resentful, bitter, suspicious. I refused to lose myself trying to hold on to someone who had already let go. The apartment felt like a museum when I left. A place full of artifacts from a life that had already ended. She tried calling me 3 times that week. I didn't answer. Her last message said, "I'm sorry. I miss you." I didn't reply. I moved into a small place on the other side of town. Nothing fancy. Just quiet. And mine. I started going for walks again. Just me, earbuds, and the wind. The silence was sharp at first. Then it turned into peace. Months passed. The pain dulled, but it never fully disappeared. Some nights I still thought of her, of the little things. Her humming when she cooked. The way her fingers curled when she slept. But they were just echoes. And I stopped chasing them. Sometimes people ask if I still believe in love. I do. I just also believe in boundaries. In self-respect. In knowing when love has turned into something else, something that leaves you feeling small, betrayed, and voiceless in your own story. Marlene was a chapter. A long one. But not the whole book. And that taxi ride home? It was her exit. Not just from the store. But from us.